Example, after working to protect assets from the Medicaid spouse, the healthy spouse needs a special will to keep protecting things in future. With other services, if you're just getting the Medicaid application and not necessary legal documents or strategies, you're getting much less, and often for the same price. Medicaid processing companies can be slow. They may sound like a good deal, but a lot of times they put the work on the family's shoulders, which could mean it takes more time, which costs money when paying for care. Our job is education as much as execution. Finally, please ask the question, are you being referred to a Medicaid planning service for the right reasons, or might they be steering you? I'm Haley Allaire. For comprehensive senior planning for your family, the right choice is Allaire Elder Law. Compassionate counsel and proven results. AllaireElderLaw.com.
Actual price will depend on product and subscription plan. Featured products.
1 minute.
Which the FDA does not approve or verify for
Thank
safety,
you, sir.
effectiveness, or quality. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information.
Want a boost in and out of the bedroom? Hims has you covered. Introducing a new 2-in-1 approach to level up your game. Tadalafil for better bedroom performance and zinc for testosterone support. Put it all together and you've got what you need to turn things all the way up. Getting started is simple. Just go to hims.com/joy to start your free online visit. Through Hims, you can access ED treatments including pills, chews, and more. 100% online. No office visits, no pharmacy lines. Just fill out a simple intake form and a licensed medical provider will determine if treatment's right for you. If prescribed, it ships free and discreet to the door. Find affordable treatment options at up to 95% less than brand names at hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy, hims.com/joy.
Hey, shh. Calm down. The show is about to start. Reese on the radio. Turn it up. Turn it up low. Turn it up loud.
It's like a dream come true.
Turn on your radio. Reese is on the radio.
Yo, let's get it.
Due to the nature of this program, discretion does not exist. It's Reese on the radio. Right now on WTIC News Talk 1080.
Yeah. What's going on, all you scallywags, nutmeggers, everybody across the fruited plains? Welcome to your Monday afternoon. It's time for Reese on the radio on WTIC News Talk 1080. And weekend, okay. It's all right. You know, it was a weekend. Did a lot of driving for the wife. That's what she made me do over the weekend. Just drive. Had to drive 2 hours out, then drive 2 hours back. Had to take her to Costco and do all the things that, you know, the honey-do list, as it were. I had to do a lot of the honey-do stuff. But I just drove, and I listened to some of my favorite bands. I want to talk a little bit about music. I've got a question to ask, and it's silly. I'm going to admit it's silly, but it is an ongoing fight between me and my friend Dave in Woodbridge, Virginia. And the argument is the song The Commissar in Town a rap song or a rock song? For me, I know it's a rap song, damn it. Shouldn't it qualify as a rap record? There's singing in the chorus, but everything in the song is a rap. The Commissar is a rap song. I think it should be constituted as one. I think it should be labeled a rap record. It should. You guys know the song. Don't turn around. Uh-oh. Yeah. If you can recite those lyrics, I don't even remember all that. I don't even remember the chorus. So it was me and my wife were in the car singing. We only sang the chorus. But I know it's a rap record. But anyway, we'll get into that later. 860-522-WTIC. I'm also going to do something new this year. I'm going to reintroduce myself to the sober game of football. What do I mean by that? Usually, I was a football guy, grab a case of beer, sit around with the fellas Sunday afternoon, watching games, going to the bar, because, of course, they had the NFL Sunday ticket. I don't do that anymore. Last night we did. Actually, we went to our local restaurant to go watch the Buffalo Bills game, and I went home saying, oh, it's a wrap, and Buffalo Bills come back and win it, which is why I have a newfound interest in the sport. So I'm going to start calling Monday games. Roland will like this because Roland's kind of a wagerer. I'm not going to call him a gambler because that almost sounds offensive. He's a wagerer. So I'm going to start doing that every Monday. I'm going to post it on my Facebook page. So if you're a friend of mine on Facebook and you want to post who you think's going to win the Monday night game, and we'll see, we'll compare notes. There's only bragging rights, no gifts to give away. Just bragging rights. This week I'm going to go with the Vikings over the Bears. I'm not giving any scores. I'm not going to do all that stuff that makes it all complicated. The over and under, that stuff. For me, I'm just going flat out wins. So this week, Vikings play the Bears at home. I'm taking the Vikings on the road. Roland, you want to get in on this? Who you got tonight? We start it up just you and me. We'll even get Mark Christopher in the BPS Traffic Center.
I got the Bears.
You're going to take the Bears?
Yeah, I've already picked them in my pick'em. So
okay, so Bears are in your pick'em. All right, fine. All right, we'll find out from Mark Christopher later on. He likes to pick them. I know he picks them during Brian and company in the morning. So we'll see if we can get him in on this as well. If you'd like to play, just go to my Facebook page. You go right there. Just put your pick in the comment. We're only doing Monday night games. I don't want to do the whole roster. That's a waste of time, and it's not fun for me. Monday night is, it's always been Monday night. What else I going on? Oh, I want to talk about, speaking of which, I'm going to talk about drinking today. When it comes to me, not drinking in general. If you drink, if you indulge, have at it. But I do want to talk about that in my career, drinking and thinking about that and going to the bar, like my stages of having to deal with not drinking anymore, like where I am. I want to talk about that a little bit as well today. I got to start off today's opening monologue with the story that I read this morning. And as we talk about, all of these things relate, because right now we're sort of in the campaign season for governor in the great state of Connecticut. And while we're having that conversation, there are stories like this that tend to resonate with me, maybe not with you, but it resonates with me. And I kept trying to find a way, as I was thinking about this, to articulate it about the state of Connecticut. And I may need your help on this, folks. If I don't do this well, I know I'm going to flub it. So bear with me. Indulge me a bit as I try to explain what I'm trying to say here. So here's the headline. Let me get to that more importantly. The headline says, more Connecticut families slipping towards poverty. And in that number, it talks about the cost of a family of 4, 2 parents, 2 children, in order to survive month to month. And this was all assessed by a company or a group called ALICE, Asset Limited Income Constrained Employed. I'm sorry. Let me do that again. Asset Limited Income Constrained Employed. That's what ALICE stands for. Now, many people have a problem with the numbers that ALICE comes up with. But what it's trying to do is assess what the cost of these things are and then break them down as to what the monthly cost is. This study, by the way, or this survey that they did, is alarming for so many reasons because, again, I'm an empty nester. Between myself and my wife, our kids are grown. And even our youngest is living with his dad in another state. But again, the certain cost of these things are not at the rate that we're familiar with anymore. We are so removed from these costs that I don't want to appear insensitive to them. Can I run them down? Let me run them down. So according to this Alice survey or poll, here's what it costs in the state of Connecticut for a family of 4. Miscellaneous charges start at $792. Healthcare, these are, by the way, monthly charges. Healthcare is at $802. Transportation, $987. Taxes, $974. Food cost, again, family of 4 per month, $1,500. Housing, $1,850. Childcare, an astounding $2,683. Yeah. Think about it, childcare costs more than it costs you to house said family per month. Childcare costs more than the food that you buy. If you were to combine the two, taxes and food, or taxes and housing, you would just come to about the same cost as childcare in Connecticut. Again, this is not me ribbing on childcare cost. For somebody to take care of your child, I guess it should be expensive. But here's what I need to ask, or just say. And maybe I've not been able to say it for a long time the right way, so I'm going to try again. I don't think Connecticut is built for starting families. I think it's where you go when you've established enough to start a family or to be a part of a family, right? If you hear me out, I'm saying that New York, I used to look at New York for the rest of the world, is that that's where you go to make your bones, as we used to say. We used to go to New York and to make your career. Find out what you're going to do, how much money you're going to make off of it, and then when you've made enough and you've met a girl and you want to settle down, you move to the suburbs, the outer boroughs, and even to Westchester, Connecticut, and New Jersey. That's when you start moving to the suburbs. The New York, that's your starting point. That's where you accumulate your little pennies. And then when you've established yourself as a bigwig, after you've gone through all the rigmarole, the partying, the networking, you finally got a job, you're making a good salary, you're seeing a promotion, you're seeing the stock options grow. And then once you've done it, then you start saying, hey, sweetheart, I was thinking about buying a home in Darien. Yeah, let's go. Let's go look at a couple of houses up there over the weekend. And sure enough, you rent a car, because in New York, if you're smart, you don't buy one. But you rent a car and you take a weekend stroll at a couple of open houses. You don't even get a real estate agent. You just go up there and you look and you run into, oh, look, there's an open house. And you go in and you walk through, and then you guys fantasize. This is where the baby can sleep. That's the way I've always viewed it. Again, maybe I'm the isolated lunatic here who's always seen it that way. That's quite possible. But I look at this. I've always looked at Connecticut as that place where, not that you settle down. Well, maybe that is the great word for it. Settling down in the sense of getting out of the rigmarole of going through the hustle and bustle of living in a big city. You know, apartment living when you're moving up the ladder makes sense. I live in the Lower East Side. I live in Chelsea. I live in Hell's Kitchen. That's all great. You're socializing, you're meeting people, then you meet the guy or girl of your dreams. And then you decide you're going to, I don't know, tie the knot. Even if you don't do something elaborate, you go down to City Hall because you're saving money. You're starting out. And then when both of you in your upward mobility struggles, finally you reach there. You go, you know what? I'm a partner. Oh, you know what? I just got my first stock option. Oh, I've got a promotion. I'm an assistant to the president of whatever. Who cares? Then you start taking life seriously. You can't go out to the bars and the clubs anymore because now you're serious about your life and your career. You want to build something. And real estate is always the first place you go. And that's what Connecticut's for. That's it just is. I always thought of that about in New Jersey until they started building, little apartment buildings in Hoboken and Edgewater, just so the people who couldn't afford to live in the city could live near it. But generally, you move out to the suburbs because you're going to now become a commuter. And some of you might ask, well, what of the people who live in the state of Connecticut who have always lived in the state of Connecticut? What about the folks living in Bridgeport, Hartford, Waterbury? People who have been struggling, for lack of a better word. I don't know what to say to them because I really don't believe, and I know this is going to sound rough, but I don't think that this state is built for you to be upwardly mobile. It's not known for that. And if it ever was, it isn't that place anymore. There are no factories here. Connecticut, for people who are struggling, who don't have a proper education or have squandered their education in a lot of ways in the state of Connecticut, and you know who you are, this is not condemning everyone, but you know who you are, there is no opportunity for you where you can afford $2,600 for childcare. This isn't the state for you. According to this Alice report, I want you to think about this. The numbers that I just gave you amount to $9,568 a month for a family of 4 to afford to live in the state. $9,568. Even with a 2-income household, both parents have to pull in $4,784 a month. Now, I looked at the numbers. I didn't put it in front of me, but I do have it here. In fact, I'll go to my phone where I tabulated them. I love that word. And that means that each family member, husband and wife, must pull in at least $57,000 a year. Nobody's making that money in retail. No one is making that money in retail. And that's a majority of the jobs in a lot of these towns, at the malls, that don't do well, that end up closing down. A lot of these folks are raising their families working at Jamba Juice. That's what it is? Java Juice. Something like that. Who cares? I've never been there. But all of that is never going to get you to a $57,000 a year job. So you're going to be priced out. You can do whatever you can to make it work. You can cut corners. A lot of people do. But in order to make it, you can't subsidize people's lifestyle to the tune of $57,000 per person. You can't. There's no way you're going to be able to do that. Not without raising taxes, and not without people leaving the state, where people may just have to make a decision about themselves. Bob J says, 57,000 ain't what it used to be. I couldn't agree more, Bob. You and I are in agreement there. And Bob also says, opportunities, not locations, should drive your decision until you are financially able to do what you want to do. Yes, opportunities should, but please stop putting the bearing is not on opportunities, Bob. And I got to go to a break. I want to talk about this a little bit more, but opportunities are not the problem. You have got to be able to create the opportunity that affords you to $57,000. Do you understand? And I'll give you an example of that when we return. I'll talk to you why I know this is real and relevant when we return. More news, more views, and you can shake a stick at. Happy Monday to you. It's Reese on the Radio on WTIC NewsTalk 1080.
Mint is still $15 a month for premium wireless. And if you haven't made the switch yet, here are 15 reasons why you should. 1, it's $15 a month. 2, seriously, it's $15 a month. 3, no big contracts. 4, I use it. 5, my mom uses it. Are you playing me off? That's what's happening, right? Okay.
Visit mintmobile.com/radio. Upfront payment of $45 for 3-month plan, $15 per month equivalent required. New customer offer first 3 months only. Then full price plan options available. Taxes and fees extra. See mintmobile.com.
Here's the tale of the daily med fill. Same old pharmacy, same old bill. But those prices kept rising higher still.
Till the savings wrangler rode in. Cool as can be. Tap Good RX. Saving massively.
No plan? Don't matter none. Up to 80% off. Deals are done.
Discounts hitting harder than Ma's chili. Dang. That one little app does all the rest.
Save time and money on prescriptions.
Check Good RX. Good RX is not insurance.
Well, vacation is over, school is back in session, and WTIC News Talk 1080 is part of your daily routine with news, weather, and traffic updates, plus talk shows to keep you informed and entertained. It's back to the grind, but we'll help you get through it. WTIC News Talk 1080, always on your radio and on the Odyssey, iHeartRadio, and TuneIn apps.
Hi, I'm Joe with SimpleSaleUSA.com, and I buy houses cash. If you own a house and want to sell it fast at a fair price, call me at 203-896-4000. I can pay cash and close in as little as 7 days. I buy houses in any condition, any price range, and more importantly, anywhere in Connecticut. I'm a private real estate investor who buys several houses a month, and I want to buy more. I buy inherited houses, divorce houses, behind in payment houses. I even buy my tenant won't pay me the rent houses. Do you own a house that is trash and needs thousands of dollars in repairs? Great, because I love buying junk houses. I buy vacant houses, abandoned houses, condemned houses, and even foreclosure houses. If you own a house and want to sell it fast, call me at 203-896-4000. That's 203-896-4000. 203-896-4000.
And now, a WTIC News Update.
68 degrees at 2:30. I'm Dave Mager, WTIC 1080 News. High in the low 70s, low around 50 tonight. The French government is finished. President Emmanuel Macron will search for a fourth prime minister in 12 months. That's after lawmakers voted no confidence in Prime Minister Francois Bayrou. He wanted to slash public spending to repair the country's debt. Now he's dehors, which means out. At least 8 people are dead northwest of Mexico City, where a train collided with a double-decker bus, 45 injured. Palestinian attackers opened fire on a Jerusalem bus stop during morning rush. 6 people are dead, 12 wounded. 2 shooters were killed by an Israeli soldier. CBS's Courtney Keeley.
The driver from East Jerusalem has been arrested by Shin Bet, the counterintelligence services. There is a lockdown on the West Bank and the Northeast West Bank. Checkpoints have been shut and arrests are being made.
Israel struck and destroyed another high-rise in Gaza City after warning residents to evacuate. The military says it was targeting Hamas observation posts and bombs. A defense attorney says a man charged with killing 2 men in New Haven was acting in self-defense. Sergio Thomas is accused of fatally shooting Daquan Hyman and Ernest Williams 2 weeks ago on Dickerman Street. A judge today upped his bond to $3 million. Doctors voicing their concern with Florida's decision to phase out childhood vaccine requirements. Dr. Celine Gounder is a CBS News medical contributor. She says Florida does not have data to calculate the impending damage.
Did they make projections as to how many more infections, how many more emergency room visits, hospitalizations? What will it mean for missed school? What will it mean for parents having to stay home from work because their kid is sick? So, and without those kinds of projections, you can't make estimates as to what hospitals need to be doing to prepare.
Meantime, Senator Richard Blumenthal is demanding HHS Secretary Robert Kennedy Jr. reverse his cancellation of millions for research on mRNA vaccines. On Wall Street, the Dow is up 32 points, S&P climbing 12, NASDAQ up 116 to a new record. And we check the WTIC forecast.
Forecast pattern looking quiet here across the region for much of the upcoming week, though there could be some showers towards the coast on Wednesday. As we transition from this afternoon and into tonight, turning out partly cloudy, a cool one for tonight with a low of 47. Lower 40s, though, for many outlying areas. Tomorrow, another beautiful day, sunny to partly cloudy with a high of 74. Clouds will thicken up through tomorrow night, low of 53. And mostly cloudy for Wednesday, perhaps some showers towards the coast with a high of 71. This is meteorologist Matt Benz in the WTIC Weather Center.
68 and dry right now. In sports, Red Sox at the Athletics. It's on WTIC with the pregame at 9:05 p.m. The Mets in Philadelphia. For more, check out WTIC.com. I'm Dave Maker, WTIC 1080 News.
Moms and dads, do you wish you could know where your kids' shoes are at all times? Now you can with Skechers' newest Apple AirTag compatible sneakers, Find My Skechers. There's a clever hidden AirTag compartment under the shoe's insole. It's sleek, secure, and your child can't feel or see it. Then you can check where your kids' shoes are on the Find My app. Plus, they're available for boys and girls. Get Find My Skechers at Skechers.com, a Skechers store near you, or wherever kids' shoes are sold. Apple AirTags sold separately.
Let's go! You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and help strengthen your immune response. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Schedule in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Coonahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
That's leaffilter.com/deal for your free gutter inspection today. See representative for warranty details. Promotion is 20% off plus a 10% senior or military discount. One discount per household.
Texting enrolls you into recurring automated text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
Hey, Dan, how you doing? Haven't seen you around the gym for a while.
Yeah, I've really fallen off. Since I turned 40, I just don't get the results I used to get.
Could be lower testosterone.
Lower T?
Yeah, I went through it a while back. Once you hit 40, your body has less free testosterone. I got Nugenix Total T, and it's made a huge difference for me.
I've seen that ad on TV. Is it for real?
Oh, yeah. The key ingredient is something called Tesnor, which helps boost free and total testosterone levels to help you trim up and stay lean.
And it's made a difference for you?
Man, I feel like I'm in my 20s again, at work, in the gym, and in the bedroom.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles for people to try it for themselves?
Yeah, you just need to send them a text.
Text SAVVY to 42424 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T, the #1 selling testosterone booster at GNC. Plus, text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo, our most powerful fat incinerator ever, to help you get back into shape fast, absolutely free. Text SAVVY to 42424. That's SAVVY to 42424.
Guess who's watching Rob Finnerty on Newsmax? President Trump is. He even says Finnerty's show is so terrific. Millions are joining President Trump to watch Finnerty every night at 8 p.m. Eastern on Newsmax. All this week, Rob looks at the media's war on President Trump. Rob gives you the facts about the National Guard in cities like New York, Chicago, and Los Angeles. He tells you the real truth about the Jeffrey Epstein files, and he reveals the big media's agenda on Trump's health. You need to watch Rob Finnerty on Newsmax. Check out your local cable system. Newsmax is on all major systems. Or download the free Newsmax app. It costs you nothing, and you can watch in minutes. Finnerty is the fastest-growing primetime news show in America. Find out why even President Trump is tuning in. More than 40 million Americans go to Newsmax for news they can trust. Because we are real news for real people.
They're wondering why they can't get out of their own way or why everything is so expensive. Why not do the things that are required? And if you can't get an education that way, get it somewhere else. It's easy to get an education now, practically for free. But you got to put in the hard work. You got to be able to work from the bottom and work your way up. But somehow that's frowned upon today. And perhaps for the state of Connecticut, it probably isn't beneficial for you to live in the state. It isn't. Not unless you want your life subsidized. Not unless you want to raise taxes on everybody else so that they can provide for you. This state can give you all the opportunity in the world, but if you don't get your butt out of bed, get out the door, and actually go take it, nothing is going to materialize for you. It doesn't work like that. It just doesn't. But you got to stop frowning on the working class. And look, I know people say $57,000 isn't a lot of money, as Bob said in the chat room. No, it isn't. It isn't. But if you're thoughtful, you can make it work. You don't have to have everything. You know, I always find it interesting that people talk about millionaires and billionaires. Famously, Barack Obama saying, after a while, how much money can you have? I can say the same thing for about the working poor I had.
Helping QC Connect. All chances are it's close to you. That free consultation, 860-440-PAIN.
Life insurance. Putting it off. Can't afford it? Too much hassle? Think you don't need it? You don't need it? There's lots of excuses for putting off life insurance. But if you weren't there, who would pay the mortgage and other bills? With Ethos, you could be covered in 10 minutes and boom, family protected. Ethos, fast and easy online term life insurance. Up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at ethos.com/radio. That's ethos.com/radio.
We know you're uncertain about psychics. Is this fortune teller you found on a forum legit? Certain about psychics. Is this fortune teller you found on a forum legit?
Your one true love is...
Me! That's why California...
And now, that I may have to talk about the hoax that is the legacy of his name.
70. What advocates called roving immigration arrests that relied on certain factors, such as somebody's
digital. If you've listened to my monologues, you know I've talked about this at great length. In fact, I have a Substack about it as well, which says that Mamdani is pretty much exposing what Democrats have always been: socialists. Are a few out there. Republicans on socialism. 14%. 14%. Independents, 38%. Company or positive. A text message from Mailman Mike. He says that even Boston, the Attorney General is shutting it down. Dispensaries. It didn't work. And I was the one who told you guys 2-3 years ago. Was it 2022? I was the one who told you it was a waste of time. It's a waste of money. Then why would they even... What exactly? They don't want the president there. In fact, there was a... They don't want the president there. In fact, there was also a